Hello, my name is Dan Schmidt, and I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. Now, the website is teamchicago.tv, teamchicago.tv. Go to the website if you want more information about Team Chicago. But we're reviewing the 1999 season, one of the greatest seasons for Team Chicago. The second race of the series was Gingerman Raceway. Gingerman Raceway is located outside of South Haven, Michigan, about 120 miles east of Chicago, 80 miles west of Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's a pretty good racetrack. Got some good coverage of the race there. So let's look at the highlights. The second race of the 1999 season with WERA. And let's see how Team Chicago fares. Starting out in the rain, then we get into the dry, and let's see how we do.
As we wait for the start of the 6-hour National Endurance, WERA National Endurance, Gingerman Raceway, the flag flies. The bikes charge down to turn 2. Turn 1 is this little kink, then turn 2 is the further corner. They head out. One team is starting from the pits. He gets the signal, it's time he could take off. It is driving rain at Gingerman. We are about 10 miles from Lake Michigan. Glenn Zarek from Semoff Brother Racing on that Yamaha R1 is leading. Second place looks like Arclight. Third place is Steve Carson. Steve Carson on the Team Chicago YZF 600 coming out of the pits now. It is Firestorm number 3 making the late start after one lap. Glenn Zarek is really stretching that lead. Steve Carson still running in the top 5 on the Team Chicago. 4 and 6 prepared. Dunlop, Torco, Yamaha dealers, YZF. Glenn Zarek is flying in the rain. All the bikes can run rain tires with WERA. Superbike and Supersport. There are 5 classes on the racetrack. As we get into the first hour, really stretching the lead. Glenn Zarek on the Semoff Brothers Yamaha 1000. He is smoking out there. Driving rain. As we see number 3. Number 3 is Firestorm. Coming out at late. Whoa! Watch it now. Let's slow that down and take another look at this crash. The slow get off. Can't really tell what caused the bike, but you can see the back end coming around. Front wheel washed a little bit. Gingerman Raceway, South Haven, Michigan. Approximately 10 miles from Lake Michigan. 44, that is Fritz Kling. Fritz Kling with Ray C Racing. They're running in the top 5 as we see Arclight coming into the pits, making a pit stop as Glenn Zarek adds another lap. Glenn Zarek on the Semoff Brothers Yamaha. He is smoking the field. Arclight has had a problem. They went down as they replaced one of the foot pegs. They are suffering. Tapeworks is also having a problem out there. As we see the Arclight riders getting ready to get on. Army of Darkness has got a great race going as they head out of the pit after making a pit stop. Army of Darkness. This team formed a few years earlier at Nelson Ledges, running at 24-hour. Tapeworks, the most crashing motorcycle out there. They also running at middleweight super bike class. They have gone down 4 or 5 times, and Glenn Zarek takes the Semoff Brother Yamaha R1 into the pit. Scott Brown is going to take over as they take on fuel. Team Chicago, we're into the pits. It is stopping raining. It looks like the track is starting to develop a dry line. It was my decision to pull Phil Young in. We're going to make a tire change. It took us over 3 minutes. We're running Super Sport. We don't have trick stuff on the bike to make quick tire changes, but we did as best as we could with a lot of help from a lot of friends that we have in the pits. As we get into the halfway point, Semoff Brother is still up front. It's That's Scott Brown and Glenn Zurich. They are leading. Firestorm and Tapeworks continues to have a problem as I take over on the Team Chicago. 4 and 6 prepared. Dunlop Tires, Race Tire Service Dunlop. As I get by Tapeworks, they're starting to take it nice and easy out here at Gingerman. I'm also sponsored by Torco Racing Fuel and Oil and the Yamaha dealers of Chicagoland and West Michigan and Indiana. Having a great race out here at Gingerman Raceway. Now Steve went down. We lost a little bit of time, but we are catching back up. We are running in 16th place. We see Yamaha Canada on the R6 go flashing by. They are in the top 10 as I make one more pass. And as we get to the final hour of this event, it is Dunlop Brother Racing. They are leading. They've got a long lead. Second place, moving up. Arclight has moved to second place. Army of Darkness is running third. Carlisle is fourth. Race C's had a little bit of problem. They are running fifth. 1-800 Crotch Rockets running sixth. Yamaha Canada running seventh. Asphalt is running 8th, Psycho Speed Racing running 9th, and Paramount as we see Glenn, nope, that wasn't Glenn Zurich. There's Glenn Zurich standing next to the Brown. That was Scott Brown pulling a wheelie, checking out and picking up a win. As Steve Carson comes by, Team Chicago, we continue to lead middleweight super stock after 2 races with the Wera National Endurance Series, and now National Sprint, National Challenge Series on Sunday. Jumping out front, open super stock. It is Brian Stokes leads off the line. Brian Stokes, I believe he is on his Suzuki. Right with him, that is on the Kawasaki. That is Bezra Suzuki. Mark Young on the Kawasaki. Running second, running third is that Arclight Suzuki of Joe Persiano. Brian Stokes up front. Mark Young trying to make the move on that Bezra Kawasaki. Marshall Distributing out of Michigan. Marshall Distributing. As we see Mark Young make the move, Joe Persiano's right with him as they head through the S's out here at Gingerman Raceway. The second round of the Wera National Challenge Series. Mark Young up front, Joe Persiano trying to move on you. Oh, Joe Persiano runs into the rear end of Mark Young. They both save it as they run out into the grass. Brian Stokes is back up front as Joe Persiano gets by. Mark Young is also joining the fray. They got knocked out of the lead as we see Brian Stokes. He is leading. It's like Leah Gree is running second. Maybe Brian Stokes comes flashing by as he heads into the carousel here at Gingerman Raceway. Whoa, Brian, oh my low flip flop. Oh no. Ryder runs off to avoid it. Let's watch this. What happens? Did he hit a little bit of oil? Did he just lose the rear end? Did he lean it over too far? Bike makes an ugly flip. Whoa! Boom! Brian is okay, but his bike is not going to make the restart. Going on to pick up the win, it is Leah Gree going on to pick up the win. Right with him is Tim Beamistorfer out of Maryland. Tim Beamistorfer running second. Leah Gree running first, going on to pick up the win in the open super stock. Now we're going to get action to 750. 750 we got Joe Persiano, Leah Gree, and Jeff Kramer battling in the 750 super stock race. Joe Persiano trying to get by his Arclight teammate, but picking up the win, it is Leah Gree, second place, Joe Persiano. Third place is Jeff Kramer. Now, 600 super stock up front on that Bezra Kawasaki. That is Mark Young, Nielsen Enterprise, Kawasaki. Vezra, Marshall Distributing's up front. Second place, Joe Persiano. Nope, second place. Passing for second place was Joe Persiano as he gets by Jeff Kramer. But up front, Mark Young, Vezra, Marshall Distributing, Nielsen Enterprise, Kawasaki going on to pick up the win. Joe Persiano running second. We agree, Jeff Kramer and Brian Lance running in fifth place. Also on a Kawasaki at Kawasaki's 1 and 5 out here, Gingerman Raceway, the Wera National Challenge Series. Mark Young goes on to pick up the victory. Special thanks to Wera and Dennis Torres for the additional video footage. I could not have put this together without the help of Dennis. And don't forget the Team Chicago website at www.teamchicago.tv. That's right, teamchicago.tv.